with that, in that realm, you and me both make content that can be seen as bombastic and that can be
Shaggy immediately popped into my head. By the way.
yeah.
Put that in.
Yep. It can be bombastic. It can be polarizing. I go to probably what I know, what I thought was like, this is probably the most Sean has ever poked the bear ever. Like directly poke the group of people. And that was another organization in this space and their belief in a trainer compensation model, the 4/9 thing, and that whole Chris Cooper thing. I mean, I remember there was even like a meme. I believe one time it was a picture of, it was something like an
wrestler?
No. It was like it was something to do with the Holocaust. It was like
I didn't make it.
Not a Holocaust joke, but it wasn't a meme where it showed something. It was like a desolate wasteland, and for whatever reason, like Auschwitz pops in my head. Maybe not.
I think it was just like a desert and like a big farm.
Okay, a desolate wasteland, whatever it was, and it was like the checking account when your coach or your owner pays you on a 4/9 model or something. I was like, he's going all in on this one thing, and there was good backlash and bad backlash from that.
Yeah.
People joke around and they're like, "Oh, you're Stu. You're trying to be the Howard Stern shock jock of
Howard Stern did well.
Yeah, did really well." How do you feel about content when you know you're creating it and you know in your heart, like, I didn't wake up today saying I want to piss off a bunch of people and I want 51 to like me and buy something for me and 49 to tell me to go fuck myself, but you instantly know the topic that you have a burning fire in your gut that you want to spew on is going to go 51-49.
I had a lot of ignorance when I did that. I actually wasn't poking a bear. I didn't know that was a two-brain principle. In fact, weeks earlier than when I started that thing, I had Chris Cooper on my podcast. I'm not shy. I would have asked him about it if I knew it was his thing. I didn't know it was a two-brain principle, and I didn't have any reason to Google where did it come from. I just knew it existed. So I was trying to make clear how ridiculous it is and how destructive it is and how just stunting of any kind of growth that payment model is. I didn't know I was going after a company. I wouldn't have done it that way if I knew I was going after a company. That's not my style.
Did he ever reach out to you?
Him? No.
Yeah.
No.
Even after being on the podcast, be like, yo, bro, what the fuck?
No, did not reach out to me. And I don't, that's not, he can.
Sure.
Right? And I would talk to him. But I don't, it's not his responsibility to. So people reached out to me, though, who I respect. Two in particular, Chris Spagner and Mehdi El-Amin. Chris Spagner is a coach who we've mentored, who works at CrossFit 7 Mile, 6 Mile. I don't remember how many miles they got, but they're down.
And Mehdi is South Arlington.
And Mehdi is South Arlington.
We just started doing copywriting for him.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So they both, who I have a lot of respect for both of them, came to me and they were like, what you're doing, we get the point. And it's not even a bad point. You're making it, you're bullying people. I was like, how am I bullying people? And they're like, well, you're telling people that what they're doing is bad and you're not telling them how to do it better. Stop telling people that what they're doing is bad. Start telling people how to do things better. And I was like, damn. I didn't realize I was bullying people. Like, that wasn't my intent. And Mehdi at the time was working with Two Brain, I believe, and he was like you don't need to go after them. I'm like, whoa. I'm not going after anybody. Well, it seems like you are. I'm like, I'm not at all. So I remember where I was right after I talked to Mehdi. I was driving to a seminar at Invictus Boston that we were presenting, and I pulled over on the side of the road, and I just filmed an apology video and posted up on Instagram because I'm like, this is not.
Were you apologizing for the delivery or not? Because it wasn't for the message.
No, I stand by the message.
Yeah.
It's a destructive model. I was apologizing for the delivery. I was apologizing for misunderstanding that I was meaning to give people the spark to be like, maybe there's a better way to do this, without having come up with the better way that I could share. So it wasn't fair. It was like telling somebody something about you is ugly. I don't know what it is. It's in your face, but something about you is ugly. And that's not That's not an effective way to help somebody.
So instead, what you're saying, you should be like, you need some eyeshadow. You need to get a fucking tan. Like your something about your face is ugly. This is how I'd recommend fixing it. And because again, it's
If we're going to talk about ugly
Sure,
faces,
yeah.
yeah, and you know, pot calling the kettle black maybe, but I'm not winning any beauty contests. But I'm not. The point I'm making is what I should have done at the time and what I do now is talk about here's how you should do it. Here's one way that you could do it. Here is a valuable way to think about how you might do it. Instead of, don't do this. And that's been well received. And the apology that I put out there was to make sure that people knew my intent was to help, not to disparage, not to bully, and that I didn't know it was somebody else's model, and that I would never have done that if I'd known.
I think I like the way you looked at it.
The memes were funny though.
The memes were funny. They were funny. I enjoyed them.